Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Boom Boom Room. I am with you back with Whispers Across America.
Whispers.
That was kind of like an Englishman, but maybe not a drunk Englishman. You know what I mean? Minus the drink in his hand.
A little bit. Gotta change it up a little bit each time.
Yeah, gotta change it up a little bit.
A little different inflection.
Does sound good. It did sound good. Oh, how you doing, Ted? How you been?
Good, man. Good. We what was that last one? Indiana, right?
Yep, Indiana.
So I was not that far from Indiana. I guess it's just like a state over, something like that.
Where?
But Indiana.
No, Indiana's pretty far, dude. Indiana's over by Michigan. And...
No. But Iowa and Indiana.
Oh, dude. Okay, sorry. I thought you were going delusional right there for a minute.
No, I'm talking about Iowa and Indiana.
Got you. Sorry.
Yeah. But Iowa, Iowa borders on the Mississippi River, right?
Yes. It's north of Missouri.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've been to Des Moines, matter of fact, back in 2018, I was in Des Moines.
That's the biggest city in Iowa.
I think it is. I don't know.
So
I don't know what the capital is.
Man, like if you live in a state that grows so much corn, is everything just like corn food? Like, you have cornbread muffins for breakfast. You have corn on the cob for lunch. Yeah, popcorn for dinner.
Probably. I know that. I don't know if it's their main crop. I know Nebraska is probably the most corn I've ever seen. But I'm saying I was up in Nebraska, and I remember they had corn was about 15 foot tall, man. I've never seen corn so tall. They had like bumper crops that year when I was working. But anyway, Iowa, John Wayne is from Iowa. You know, the actor.
John Wayne.
Yep. Sure is.
Pilgrim. That's the only thing I know.
Pilgrim.
That's the only thing Pilgrim. I think I've watched probably those movies. His movies were kind of old when I was a kid, so I haven't seen a whole lot of those, but
yeah, he was a great actor, dude. I used to watch a lot of his movies, me and my dad. But I was interesting state, and believe it or not, it's not boring with these stories we've got for you. Not boring.
The creepy folklore.
Hell yeah. And I hope you guys enjoyed our last one. If it's just the first time you're tuning in, comment down in the comment. Leave us a comment. Put the number 1 on there. First time you've been ever listened or found the channel. And if you like it, subscribe, like it. Share it out. We're trying to grow. We really enjoy doing these for you, and we appreciate all the feedback that we get. In case, if you guys want us to cover a certain subject, spooky subject or a certain folklore, let us know. We love our feedback. So, but anyway, if you want to, Ted, I will let you read your first spooky wookie story from Iowa.
Mm-hmm. So this spooky story from the state of Iowa is titled The Villisca Axe Murders. From Villisca, Iowa. In the quiet town of Villisca, nestled in southwestern Iowa, a horrifying crime took place that has become one of the most infamous unsolved murder cases in American history and the stuff of Iowa legend. On the night of June 10th of 1912, someone crept into the Moore family home and brutally murdered all 8 people inside. Josiah, his wife Sarah, their 4 children, and 2 young girls who were spending the night. The killer used an axe found on the property. But the killer left no clear evidence behind. All of the victims were bludgeoned in their sleep. Curtains were drawn, mirrors covered, and strange ritualistic details were left behind, including a plate of uneaten food and a bowl of bloody water. Today, the Villisca Axe Murder House is a major stop for ghost hunters and paranormal investigators. These visitors have reported disembodied voices, moving objects, children's laughter when no one is there, cold spots, sudden nausea, shadow figures moving through rooms at night, and some even claim to have seen the ghost of a man with an axe standing at the foot of their bed. Even more chilling, paranormal groups who spend the night often wake up exactly at 2 a.m. in the morning, the supposed time of these axe murders, with no memory ever falling asleep. Locals say the spirits of the Moore family still linger at the house, trapped by their sudden violent end, while the killer's identity remains a mystery. Theories point to various suspects, drifters, ministers, and even political rivals. But no one has ever been convicted.
Wow.
The Villisca Axe Murder House.
Jeez.
So this one kind of fits in with the whole, So I guess this one's kind of like a ghost story because the spirits are there and people, not only the spirits of the victims, but also the axe murderer. And I don't know. I think it's that it sounds kind of familiar. Villisca. I think maybe I've heard of that before. The Villisca Axe Murder House. But
I think I have too, Ted. I think I've seen something on it before. I've seen some parodies of it on some
This one-
some channels.
this one kind of gives me vibes of Amityville.
Yeah.
So it's except for with Amityville, it was part of a member of the family that supposedly got possessed and murdered a family. But this one is just they don't know. It's a mystery who the axe murderer was.
Well,
Of course, this-
so it was his family, and then it was the some visitors. I guess the kid's 2 friends.
Yep.
Okay.
And in 1912, the science, especially like the forensic science, we're talking DNA and everything. That was non-existent,
Yeah.
So, they probably knew about blood types back then, probably fingerprinting, but
Or did you see where it says about the mirrors covered? Remember I told you people that are possessed, they don't like to look in the mirrors?
that was interesting.
Yeah.
That was really interesting.
Because it says, strange realistic details were left behind. Ritualistic.
Yeah, why would these mirrors be covered?
Well, a lot of you go down the rabbit hole with a lot of demonic when you worship the so-called worship the devil or something to do with the demonic realm is like I told you. Remember I told you in the past that my ex's cousin could be in a motel room and cover the mirrors up because he'd have nightmares and freak out, so he had to cover the mirrors up because he done satanic rituals he did in the past. Yeah. And
maybe this killer, whoever this person was, maybe this was not the first killing, and
Yeah.
maybe he had been, you know, maybe dark energies had started to follow him, and you know, he so this was part of his deal to try to escape the dark energies, you know.
Yeah.
A plate of uneaten food. No, I mean, I get in a bowl of bloody water. I get the bloody water. I mean, he's washing up, right?
Yeah. Yep. Washing up.
But the uneaten food.
Maybe,
is that
maybe started to eat it and they got sick on the stomach or just wanted to leave or something, you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't understand, well, nobody does really, why somebody want to come in and just slaughter a whole family. That's just
maybe
just nuts. Has to be something speaking to them, you know, something demonic. Has to, man. There's just no way around it. There's something demonic going in there, you know, to go freaking kill a whole family and little kids. It's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, woo.
Yeah, it's spooky, man. But I think I've heard of this tale before. I heard of that before. I know I have. You know.
I just looked up that house. Picture of it, and it's not that big of a house, you know.
Yeah, small house.
But
well, you know, back then houses were small, and then through the ages, in the last 125 years, everything's become bigger. You notice that with society, it's always got to be bigger. You know, we were good with a little modest house, you know, 100 years ago, and it just kept growing and growing until everybody wanted to have mansions, because nobody had big houses or nothing. A long time ago, a century's 100 years, right? I think it is.
Yep.
And a century ago, anybody that had a big house were freaking kings and queens, you know, castles. Yeah, there was no.
This Villisca Axe Murder house, man. If you see pictures of it, it has those weird attic windows like the Amityville house.
Oh, that's spooky.
Yeah, they kind of look like two eyes up there.
Yeah, that's scary.
It has the same kind of windows. Those are creepy windows, man.
Yeah.
Whenever I see windows like that, it always reminds me of Amityville. But, you know, we've had several stories from different states about creepy architecture and, you know, architects who build in, like occult symbols into their architecture and such. Yeah. I wonder if there's something weird to these types of windows that kind of pull in some kind of energy. Because, I mean, they do look like two eyes, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that, dude. I wouldn't doubt that at all. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Because, you know, I believe something demonic can be attached to certain objects and might be doing, you know, building the house realistic. Shoot, you never know. Somebody might be putting goat's blood in the concrete and the foundations. Seriously, man. I mean, you don't know what people do and don't do. It's nuts. It really is. But anyway, Ted, if you don't got nothing to add, I will read mine now.
Second. Yes, let's hear it.
My first, the second. And it is called the Corn Witch of Black Hawk County. In the back roads of Black Hawk County, Iowa, where cornfields stretch for miles and seem to breathe in the summer heat, there's a legend local rarely speak about directly. They call her the Corn Witch, though no one agrees on what she really is. The story if you can call it that, an old farmer says she was once a midwife. Old farmers say she was once a midwife in the late 1800s, a healer, a loner, a woman who would speak to the wind and read the corn like scripture. When a rash of strange failed births swept the county, the town turned on her. They burned her house deep in the corn, and she was never found. But after that, things got stranger. Corn would grow imperfect, unnatural spirals in the abandoned field. Scarecrows left standing too long would turn up facing the wrong direction or with mouths sewn shut. Families began finding bundles of braided corn husks left in their porches. No two the same. And if you unbraided one, someone in your household would fall ill before the next harvest or even die. Some say she still walks, but not like a ghost. She's described as a tall figure draped in dry, rattling corn leaves. Her skin sun-bleached and paper-thin. Her face hidden behind a mask of husk and twine. She never speaks. She doesn't need to. She watches from the edge of fields during dusk, and especially right before the storm season. If you see her, you're supposed to leave an offering. Cornmeal, a child's tooth, or a small mirror, and walk away and do not look back. No one who's tried to photograph her has kept the camera working for more than a day. It seems to malfunction or even break. And sometimes you even hear her at dusk whispering your name. That's it. That's the corn. That's
What
it.
was the full title of that one again?
The Corn Witch of Black Hawk County.
Black Hawk. Okay.
Yeah, the Corn Witch. So I guess they turned on her. I mean, this comes in a case of basically she was a midwife, and you know how society is. The kids started falling ill, so blame the midwife. You know, maybe she done things strange. That turned people on to her. I mean, she read the corn. Maybe, you know, she was just good at what she done, you know?
Well, I mean, it definitely sounds like, well, she was known as a healer. And definitely she probably had some interesting ways about her that...
different, yeah.
In you know, several hundred years ago, she might have been burned at the stake. but then her house was in the midst of the cornfield.
Yeah.
And so so she read the corn
like scripture, it says. Now I don't know what that means, like predict it, you know. Maybe it'd give her insight on stuff. Maybe she would read it.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense. I mean, you know, like in terms of focusing the psychic energies, you know, you could use anything really, a crystal ball.
Yeah.
You could use tea leaves, right? You know, like reading the tea leaves. So, you know, reading bones tossed out, little bones, reading the bones.
Yep.
So it would kind of make sense that somebody born and raised in a place where corn is a major crop would, you know, if they had those talents, that they would start to become attuned to the corn.
Yeah.
And in the same way that a different person might use tea leaves. Right.
Yeah. It's just being different. See, if you know, I mean, society has grew, but they've not grown totally up about that, about being different. So they probably just blamed it on her because she was different. You know what I mean? And they had to blame something, and that what they done so violently probably left her spirit behind. You know, to haunt people and to torment them.
But does it? Wait, did the story say that she actually torments, or? I mean, what does she do?
Well,
I mean, you can see her, right?
Yeah.
But you know,
well, she messes with the scarecrows and some of her mouths are sewn shut, and
she messes.
Scarecrows, and the corn grows imperfect. Families have bundles of braided corn left on their porches, never two the same. And you can see her too, they said. But she's not like a ghost. She's a tall figure draped in dry, ratting corn leaves. Her skin sun bleached and paper thin, her face hidden behind a mask of husk and twine. So she's a freaking looking corn scarecrow, you know? Scary shit.
She's almost a scarecrow herself, you know?
Yeah.
Which, you know, maybe if she was burned in her house and her ashes became dust of the cornfield, the corn
grew her up.
Grew. And actually, maybe she is not, I mean, maybe part of her is actually physically made of the corn. Yep. Or actually most of her.
Exactly.
And it, you know, and her spirit possesses corn. And maybe that's why some of this corn grows oddly, because it is actually taking form into her next corporeal form.
And it also says I didn't read this part. The unsettling part, it says there are still cornfields of Black Hawk County that grow in spirals, and every few years someone reports a bundle of braided husk nailed to a door or left in a mailbox with no tracks leading to it or from it. So
it's a reminder. She's just reminding the people of that area, don't forget to give me the offerings of cornmeal. I need cornmeal to stuff. No, I need the cornmeal to be my stuffing.
Yeah.
And then I want the small mirror to see it, you know, how I look.
Yep. Yeah. That's good. I mean, that's a weird one. That sounds like a Shudder movie, doesn't it?
But whatever you do, don't dare to bring an oven out here or honey or butter. or
the grill.
Or the grill. You're gonna be in trouble, man.
Man, it's spooky though, man. Those cornfields are scary at night. We used, kids with, I remember up in Missouri, I was a teenager and I was working with my brother, and we went out partying with the locals in a real small town, Memphis, Missouri. Real small town, dude. Only had one little motel, and we went out with some girls and dudes, and we was partying. I was probably about, I think, 18. And I remember in these cornfields, I got lost in one for about 10 minutes. It was on the Iowa line, matter of fact, by the Mississippi River. Yep.
Yeah, you get turned around in those.
Dude, I'm not kidding.
It's so tall. Corn is so tall, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it grows way above your head.
Yeah, and then if you walk the wrong direction, dude, you might walk for acres. You know? It's crazy, I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got lost for several days, at least you'd have something to eat.
But you would get lost. You keep walking. I did watch a movie. I don't know if anybody's seen this movie, but it was these people would go in a cornfield and get lost. And on
purpose. And they brought the butter and the honey. No, I'm just kidding.
No, they would get lost and lost there for so long, and it was like corn. Man, it was some kind of monster. It was the start of a good movie, and then it just got shitty. But it was interesting, very interesting. But if you ain't got nothing else to add, Ted, you can read your last one, sir.
So the third spooky story from the state of Iowa is titled The Ghost of Stony Hollow Road. Tucked in the rural outskirts of Burlington. That's not Burlington, Vermont. That's Burlington, Iowa. There's a winding wooded stretch of road known as Stony Hollow Road. And it's infamous for its ghostly resident, Lucinda, a woman whose sorrow and betrayal are said to echo through the trees. Back in the 1800s, Lucinda was a young woman engaged to be married. She was madly in love and was set to meet her fiancé at the top of a bluff along Stony Hollow Road, where he promised that they would meet to elope together. Lucinda waited and waited, but her fiancé never came. Heartbroken and devastated, Lucinda is said to have thrown herself off the cliff, ending her life on the rocky ground below. Ever since that time, Lucinda's spirit is said to haunt the area. Locals whisper that if you go to the bluff at night and say her name 3 times, she might appear. But beware. Lucinda's appearance comes with a deadly warning. Those who see Lucinda's ghost are cursed to die within 24 hours, unless she sheds a tear in your presence, a rare sign of forgiveness. Other strange occurrences along this road include unexplained cold winds on hot nights, disembodied crying heard echoing from the bluff, sudden car failures right near the cliff, and reports of a woman in white drifting through the woods or standing near the edge of the drop-off. Some drivers say they've seen a pale figure in their rear view mirror after visiting, only to find no one when they turn around. Despite the danger, thrill seekers and paranormal investigators still travel down Stony Hollow Road, hoping to glimpse Lucinda, or maybe prove she's just a legend. But the locals, most avoid the place altogether once the sun goes down. So that's the ghost of Stony Hollow Road. And I mean, yeah, it's again, I mean, this one, I don't know, with this story, it says despite the danger, but here's another one where, you know, really, what danger is it really? I mean, you know, this is just another ghost that appears, right? Oh no, it's the 24-hour. Yeah, that's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. If you see her, you man.
That's so basically she was heartbroken and
Yeah.
she ended it, you know.
Yeah. And when her ghost appears, she's a woman in white. So
she wanted to marry. She wanted that love she longed for, heartbroken.
I mean, they were gonna elope, so she probably had a wedding gown on, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why when she appears, she's in white. And
well,
and then
if you see her and she don't cry, you're dead, man.
Yeah, man. So it's like I wonder what would cause her to shed a tear, you know, if she you know, in your presence, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you have to tell a joke so good that it makes her cry. No, I just kidding.
I don't know, dude.
No.
It's crazy.
I mean, you know, or is it just something about you that reminds her the people who live, right? Like, is it because that they have lived a good life and it just reminds her of the life she could have had,
Yeah.
you know, and that's why she,
I don't know why she would, yeah. Man, that's, I told you what happened. I've told you a story before about the cold. It was in, August, probably, I don't know, about 23 or 24 years ago, where I lived at. Most of the properties were lots and that my family owned, but dirt road off of a main highway, but everybody had their own little lots. It was not super big, not an acre, but had mobile homes, and that's where I grew up. But we owned all the land, it wasn't a mobile home park or nothing like that. And we were walking, me and my first cousin was walking by where his grandma, she passed away in front of me when I was 14. And what happened is I was about a half a mile up there at my friend's place, and I was talking to girls. I was 14. My mom come got me because I spent, it was time to come home. It was in the day. I don't know what happened. So I remember I was walking home. My mom was behind me and my sister. My mom was a little mad. I was mad because she pulled me away from some girls, talking to them. And I seen her walk, and she was probably in her late 70s, his grandma. And she was coming to right where my mom lived, where we lived. They had a little bitty RV that my grandma lived, and she lived like a block down the dirt road in a little RV, Because that's, it was just grandmas. They didn't need a big place, and that's what they wanted. But she knocked on the door of my grandma's place. And I said, her name was Charlene. I said, hey, she said, where's the old woman? She, even though she was the same age as my grandma, she would call her the old woman. I thought that was funny. I said, I don't know, Aunt, And then I walked into my back porch. We had a big old long back porch that was concrete because my dad, was handicapped in a wheelchair. He had a big old wheelchair ramp. We had it going back in a mobile home. And as soon as I got in, it probably went 3 seconds. My sister was screaming. I ran out, and Aunt Charlene was on the ground on the concrete, and she was dead. I mean, you could see she was dead, blue. She had a massive heart attack. And it was eerie, man. Her false teeth popped out, and she grabbed the fence and cut her finger because we had like a metal fence, a chain link fence. There's blood on the concrete for weeks, and finally I think my mom cleaned it up. But it devastated me, it kind of creeped me out. You know what I mean? As the first person ever died kind of pretty well in front of me. We tried to do CPR on her. Seemed like an hour for the ambulance to get there. It was so long that we threw a sheet over. But that was like 1990, and then it was like 2002 or whatever. Me and my first cousin, that was his grandma, and I wasn't kin to her, but that was his grandma on his mom's side. So we're walking past her old place, and it's probably, I don't know, 80, 90, it's 8 o'clock at night or 9. It was dark, so it was probably 9 something. We was walking his mom from my place, and we walked past where she lived, and all of a sudden, Ted, it had to be, like I said, close to 9. You know what it is in the summertime, in August. It gets so freaking cold that we stop immediately together. We look at each other, and we're both blowing smoke. You know how you blow smoke? It's so cold out of your breath.
Yeah, man.
And I said, oh, man. I said, oh, God, what is that, Harry? That's his name. I said, what's going on? And we just stood there for a few seconds. And I got creeped out, so I started walking, quicker. In about 2 seconds, it was going. It turned back real hot again. So that tripped me out. You know what I mean? Well, I don't know if it was to do with the way she died, her spirit, or something going on, dude. But it actually, I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but yes, the cold thing with ghosts or supernatural does exist, and it will creep you out. Sorry about making a long story, but
No, man. I mean, that ties
that's
in directly to
yeah,
to the cold winds on hot nights.
it's actually a
Now,
thing, and
now I think that a lot of times that that coldness is the energy being sucked from our realm,
yeah,
being accumulated by whatever other dimensional entity is going to use it to try to do something, right? So
yeah,
you know so maybe they just haven't, maybe they figured out that much, they figured out how, okay, I can absorb this energy, but you know maybe they haven't got as far as actually learning how to make something happen,
yeah.
where
Exactly. And I don't know how it works when you die and stuff, but maybe she, where she was so in love and heartbroken. Because some people, get to their, when they're not in their right mind, when they're in love. Is that, and she, done that. And I mean, I've been in love, we've had our heart broke, and all of us have, and it hurts. But some people take it to another level, and she did. And I don't know if why would she curse somebody for 24 hours to die and then didn't just shed a tear and just relieve them of not dying. But that is I mean, we don't understand ghosts, but that's your woman. I mean, we always got. Hey, Lucinda, if you can hear, Ted's available.
I don't know, man.
Ted is available, Lucinda. But that is a weird one, man. I guess if people knew how the spiritual realm worked, would be, a breakthrough.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I've heard of stories like I've had people tell me that they told their loved ones, when you die, their loved one before they died told them, I'm going to come back as a butterfly, And like the next day after he died, a butterfly come and landed on him, weird stuff like that. You know what I mean? And in my culture, they're real superstitious, which I'm not, because I think it's stupid to be that way, and I used to be. But in my culture, the Romney, gypsy culture, like if you have a certain dream, don't leave the house. You know what I'm saying? A black cat, of course, or if a bird pecks on your window, you know what I'm saying? That's a bad omen. Or if you hit a bird driving, that's a bad omen. My mom told me, she wasn't really superstitious, but she told me a story. She said, before your grandpa died, which I never met him, I wasn't born yet, but she said, I heard 3 coughs. She said, this is what's weird, Ted. I don't think I've told you this one. She said, I heard 3 coughs that night, son, before I went to bed. And the next morning, I found out he had a heart attack and died. He's only like 55 or something. He was young when he died, but anyway, what was weird about that, Ted, is that summer that before my mom passed away, she got killed in an auto accident. That summer, she always told me that story. That summer, we was in this RV park in Topeka, Kansas, and it was all concrete, a very nice RV park. Super nice, gated up. And they just wouldn't let anybody in there. We weren't special or nothing, but I was working up there, and that was in 2008. Anyway, one night, we was in a small RV, it's probably about 32 foot, I think. And me and my ex-wife, my 2 kids, I heard 3 knocks on the door, As soon as I heard 3 knocks on the door, I throwed the door open and didn't see nobody. I jumped out and looked all around. And this place is all concrete. So if anybody would knock on the door or anything, there's no way that quick they could get away. You know what I mean? I would hear them running on the concrete. There was nowhere to go, you know? There was no way they could get to another RV. There was no way they could lay down up under a vehicle. Unless they had wings, you know what I mean? And then she passed away, and I thought that was always weird, you know? And I'll tell you this quick story. And I ain't trying to be sad. It doesn't make me sad talking about it. But this is what I'm talking about, like omens and stuff, the supernatural. The night before my mom passed away, I had a dream, a vivid dream that was so real. And where I grew up, we had a storm shelter. You know, we have, a lot of people have them in the Midwest because of tornadoes and storms. Well, my dad built it, and it done decapitated or whatever you want to call it, you know, it done wore down. And we didn't really use it since I was a kid, but I had a dream that I had my niece, and I was in the storm shelter, and I was holding her real tight, and I remember what I said in the dream, and this is so creepy, dude. And then what happened to my mom? I said they don't know what's coming. I told my niece, and what it was, there was like two tornadoes coming. It was two big giant tornadoes in my dream coming. And I said they don't know what's coming. And then the next day, my mom, you know, died. And what was weird is, you know, it was two bad things happened to me within that year and a half. You know, I got a divorce, and then my mom passed away. But I do believe supernatural. Yeah, ain't that weird? Supernatural, like dreams and stuff. You know, I'm not so superstitious, but I do take heed in certain objects or certain dreams and stuff. But that is a true story. I would not lie about that. That's pretty freaky, dude. You know what happened. But
Wow.
you know,
Yeah,
the
man.
reason why I tell that story because it ties into
So you got
supernatural.
you got a little bit of The Shining yourself, man.
I might do
That's
that.
good. That's good. You picked it up when
Yeah.
you visited that hotel, man. What's that Colorado hotel, man?
Yeah, Estes Park, I think.
The
or something.
Estes Park. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had other dreams
Park
too,
hotel.
dude, like that. I had a dream one time. There was this pastor, our ex-pastor. It was a sad deal. I'm not trying to get sad now. I'll quit telling sad stories. But his son was a youth pastor in church, and he was coming back. Him and his wife and his little child ended up having a wreck, and he got killed and his little child. You know, it was bad. This has happened like 17, 18 years ago. And he was mourning bad, this pastor. You know, and he was a family friend, but he didn't live close to us anymore. He wasn't our pastor or whatever. And I had a dream about his son. And when I had this dream about his son, it was his son that was like pretty much in heaven, man. It was so vivid too. I seen these beautiful trees, a stream, you know, and it was just unbelievable, beautiful scenery, you know, out in the country. And he was smiling, and he had his kid in his arm. And I won't go into the details, but I told his dad, which was the pastor, and he would tell everybody after that how much it helped him, you know. And I was so happy because I wasn't going to tell him, you know. I mean, what are you going to tell somebody who just lost his only son, you know? He's got two kids, but he lost his only son, you know, doing God's work in their field of what they do. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, dude, I'm telling myself, how am I going to do this? This is back in about 2007. But I ended up telling him, and I'm glad I did. You know, explained the dream to him. And it helped him out so much, dude. Because, you know, but what I'm saying is we don't know how the spirit realm works. It's just so weird, Ted, you know. And there's so much good to it, and there is a lot of evil to it, too. So I take heed. And it might be, you know, because my mom was on spiritual, and I had an uncle too. it might be my bloodline, you know, of going back, being, you know, Roma, being a gypsy. You know, I say gypsy because I shouldn't be saying it because some people don't know what Romney is. It's kind of a slang term. But, you know, if you look at the history of it. But, you know, being a Romney, you know, maybe it's my bloodline that I'm in tune with spirituality. I don't know, you know. But anyway,
yeah, I mean, there's probably, I think there's probably people from every culture in the world who stand out as being more spiritually connected, right?
yeah.
But I mean, you know, you might be right. There's might be certain cultures that you know that developed a stronger trait for that art or that talent, you know.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm special. I'm special in the wrong way, but I'm slow in the wrong way. Oh, I had a cough last couple of days. But but yeah, I was pretty interesting, dude. So far, it's some pretty good stories. But
yeah, Iowa. At least we got some corn in there.
Yeah,
we got a ghost. We got some ghosts. And I'm really looking forward to this.
Got one more.
This fourth spooky tale, man.
What state?
What is it?
What state grows the most corn? It's got to be Nebraska, right, Ted?
I mean, it's a corn belt. That's like all those states, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, dude, California grows plenty of corn.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
But I mean, traditionally, historically, that, you know, Nebraska, Iowa, those are all the corn belt.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Probably, I bet you it's Nebraska though. It's got to be.
I mean, you've been to both states.
I'd say,
probably.
I don't know. I've been to Nebraska more. Nebraska is it's got some beautiful country. When you get up north, though, it's deserty. You know, people don't know that.
Well, I will say that Iowa does produce the most corn of any state.
Wow, did not know that, Ted.
Yep, but the other states that produce a lot: Illinois, Nebraska,
Kansas,
Minnesota, and Indiana.
Oh,
I bet Kansas does too, but it's not like in the top 5.
Yeah, Kansas has got a lot of cattle, you know, west Dodge City and stuff. But anyway, I'll read this last one. I don't want to start talking about history and lessons and states and stuff. I know. I'll go on a rabbit trail. No, I don't mind talking about it. I'm just saying. You know me, I'll get on a rabbit trail. I'm talking about myself, dude. You can stop. I won't stop. I'll lead from one story to another. I'll tell you some crazy, wild story from Nebraska. You know, yeah. What about
dude?
this?
I do want to say one thing though about corn, is that last year I took a corn cob. It had the husk on. Okay.
Please don't tell me nothing dirty. No, I'm just kidding.
And I left the husk on.
Yeah.
I didn't take the husk off. Right. Left the husk on. Put on a plate. Put it in the microwave for 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4. Exactly 4 minutes, dude. All right. Took it out. Peeled the husk off, dude. It was perfect.
Wow.
It came out.
Dude.
Yeah, man. Yep. It's perfect. You leave the husk on. You put it in the microwave for 4 minutes. It comes out because it steams.
Yeah.
It steams inside the husk, and it cooks it, and it's perfect.
Man, I had to try that, Ted.
I honestly don't like a lot of things cooked in the microwave, but corn is it comes out awesome.
Yeah,
corn on the cob.
I don't like the microwave that much.
Corn on the cob, man. Yep, 4 minutes. It comes out perfect.
Well, yeah, I think that in the fall is when you'll get more corn. You know, that's the harvest. You know. 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
it'd probably be hard to get it this year, this early, because I haven't been paying attention, but in the
Yeah, we got
grocery
some good.
stores.
I mean, we got some good corn out here too, man. Like that sweet white corn.
Oh, I loved it.
Oh yeah, it's good. But can you eat a lot of that?
Yeah, I can eat corn. I mean,
Okay.
not
Okay.
sweet corn. Like canned sweet corn. I love cream corn, dude. I grew up on cream corn. I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
so yeah, corn is one of my favorites. I love corn, but yeah, I can eat it. I mean, it's like this with diabetes. I can't eat a lot of. I can't eat a lot of stuff. If that makes sense, you know what I mean. No matter what it is, I can't eat a lot of it, but
Everything in moderation.
yeah, I mean, like eggs, I like eating. I eat a lot of eggs, love it. But
All right.
yeah, moderation. All right, let me read this. We're talking about corn now. All right, this last one's called "The Spirit of Independence State Hospital." Tucked away in the town of Independence, there stands a looming Gothic structure built in 1873. Officially known as the Independence State Hospitals, but locals still call it by its older name, more chilling name, the Lunatic Asylum. Its castle-like facade hides a horrifying past, and many say it's one of Iowa's most haunted places with good reason. The madness that went on there, the hospital was held over 1,000 patients, and many suffered from everything from schizophrenia to postpartum depression, or just being inconvenient to their families. Back then, that was enough to be locked away for life. And the crazy treatments that were performed on people were electroshock therapy, lobotomies, isolation rooms with no lights, hydrotherapy tanks that scalded or even froze people. Some patients were buried on the property, their graves unmarked, their names lost to time. Nurses spoke of tunnels beneath the hospital used to transport corpses during flu outbreaks, tunnels that still exist. Even stories of patients and bodies being sold for experiments. Visitors and ghost hunters alike have documented terrifying phenomena. Screaming echoes through the empty halls, shadow people darting in out of rooms, sudden unbearable feelings of sadness and rage, old wheelchairs rolling down hallways on their own, lights flickering violently when questions are asked out loud. And just the sound of screaming out of nowhere. Some have reported seeing nurses in blood-soaked white gowns and nurses' outfit pushing and gurning into the walls, only then to vanish. In the basement hydrotherapy room, people report hearing water dripping, even through the pipes were ripped out decades ago. And then there's the mirror room in the old female ward. If you stare too long into the mirror, and into the cracked mirror, it says your reflection will blink out of sync, or even worse, start smiling when you're not. There comes the mirror again, Ted. The death bell. Perhaps the eeriest part of the hospital is the old bell in the bell tower used to toll each time a patient died, sometimes ringing without anyone pulling the rope. They removed the bell in the 50s, but people say they still hear it ring, usually just before something bad happens. The final note, the hospital still stands. Part of it is a museum now, but most of it is off limits to the public, and some say because of safety. Others believe it's because something is still there and not all of it is human anymore. Wow. Freaking asylum, dude. There's some violent shit went on in them asylums. Very violent. I mean, what's your thought on it, Ted?
I mean, like this isn't the first asylum we've had, but dude, it's hard to imagine a place where I would be less inclined to want to spend the night, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the an asylum is I mean, you got to think about it, man. A ghost, like a group of ghosts is one
Yeah.
thing,
Yep.
but a group of ghosts that had unstable minds. That's like
Wow.
that's a whole nother level, man.
Well, yeah, yeah, dude, that's freaking nuts. You know?
Man. Um, and then the only thing is this hospital is it it looks like it actually is kind of still running parts of it.
Really?
Used as a psychiatric hospital.
Oh
Um,
shit! I thought it was a museum, so they're still
well,
using it.
but they have a museum there too from
Oh,
that
okay.
shows things from the past. And but I bet you that when we talk about objects
Hmm.
holding energy, man, I bet most of the objects in that museum, hold a lot of those energies from the past.
Oh yeah, man. You imagine the stuff that's went on in there. I can just,
and
man,
the
it's
and the
awful.
and the you know I mean, if you think about it, the power of the mind, and then these were intense experiences, the most
Yeah.
intense experiences that people could have. So this this place and the objects in this place just absorbing all of those energies, and it's no wonder. It's no wonder, man. It's no wonder it's haunted.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't think I'd wanna go there to that place, man. That's they've got a place, I know we're just doing Iowa, but here in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, and about an hour and a half from me, and it's very haunted, and it's called a Crescent Hotel. I think I covered it on Arkansas. If I didn't, I should have. But this dude made a makeshift hospital, and he was notorious, named Norman Baker, and he was a convicted fraudster. But he claimed he cured cancer and all that, and he'd cut parts of their body parts out. And anyway, like 2 years ago, he found so much shit buried out there by the motel, and bottles that he had, and just all kind of crazy shit. But first of all, you're you're frauding people. You're doing them bad with that, medical treatment. They did not know, man, how to treat people that was sick like that mentally.
mhm,
It's so
mhm,
sad, man. The pictures. Remember we was talking about Bedlam before? That
mhm,
hospital, and they use that word Bedlam now. It's like something
mhm,
chaotic going on. It's just sad that how that they done to people. Lobotomies, like that one guy that would do the lobotomy through your eye, and he done, I think, one of the Kennedys or something, or somebody famous, and ended
mhm,
up dying. But that
mhm,
just to think about the pain and the suffering, and man, shit, there ought to be 1,000 ghosts in there. And
mhm.
they didn't know what they were doing. Electroshock therapy, hydrotherapy. I think they still do electric shock therapy. I'm pretty
It
sure.
might be.
I think they
It might
do,
be.
but certain probably changed a lot. He probably
I
changed it
mean,
around.
I heard of the kind of the most interesting one from modern times is low doses of like LSD, or low doses of psilocybin.
Yeah,
Um, Very low doses, not enough to take you on a trip, right?
yeah,
Um, but to treat like depression,
yeah.
to treat like chronic depression and stuff, and I guess it works. I mean, from
Well,
the from the story.
it's just probably like, okay, marijuana. It probably helps with anxiety and depression, and some people. Me, I've
Oh,
tried it for depression and pain, and it did not work for me, so I can't put it
mhm,
down. And
mhm,
that's just like taking, I don't know what the name would be, but like talking, Xanax or Valiums or something. You know, I can't, they do help me with that, but you know, I got an addictive personality. I can't take them. But, and he would probably just dope people up back then too, you know. No telling what they'd give them. But I've seen them experiments with LSD they would do, what was in the 60s. Have you seen those trials and stuff they do to people with LSD? That was crazy, man. Experiments.
What like what was that called?
LSD.
Ultra
Oh, you mean MK Ultra?
MK Ultra?
Yeah.
Was that MK Ultra?
MK
Where
Ultra.
they tried to do the remote viewing and everything.
You know, I don't know about the remote viewing, but I believe in MK Ultra. You know, I've got a little tinfoil hat, you know. But I do. I believe you could, you know, just like with Kennedy. You know, I think that was when something else happened. There's a lot of shit that I think that was, man. I mean, look, are we gonna believe everything? I don't know what you want to call an entity tell you. You know what I mean? Establishment or whatever. I mean, come on, dude. You gonna believe every word? I got a friend. Okay, I'm not getting political. I got a friend, older friend. Every time she tells me about, like I said, I'm not getting political or taking sides here. I'm just giving an example. Trump done this, Trump done that, Trump done this. You know, I don't like politics at all. You know, I do not like it at all. I try not to get into it and stuff. And I tell him, I said, look, I'm not taking his side, but how can you believe everything they're telling you? You can't. And both sides, I'm talking about both sides of the spectrum. And, you know, and it's just, they done a lot of experiments on people. Can you imagine? I've even heard of them doing, I believe this. Okay, well, I know we talked about Dog Man last time. I believe some of those are experiments that they've done on animals and stuff for, you know, okay, for example, one of my podcast friends said he had a guy and he will not come on the podcast, he's scared, but he seen a dog man in Arkansas. He said the next day they had it some kind of deal in the trees. And people in black vans, and I've heard that several, they call them the Men in Black, dude, showed up, you know. It's so many instances that's happened. The Men in Black show up when a reported cryptic or whatever shows up. So, yeah, I mean, we don't know what's out there, you know. There's some crazy shit. But MK Ultra was mind control. Is what that was. Like, say if I mind control you and you don't even know that I mind control you, and then I tell you popcorn, and then you go out and do something. That's the trigger word. You know, to do what you was mind control to do. And I believe when that shit like that happens all the time.
Yep. And the only thing is with Iowa, man, I think we might have missed the most important cryptid story from Iowa, which is the butter cow.
Really? Are you serious?
The butter cow. Every year at the Iowa State Fair, the locals make a sculpture of a cow completely out of butter. It's the butter cow.
Really?
They started making this sculpture over 100 years ago.
Really?
In 1911. Yep. And every year since, man, they make a sculpture out of a cow. But that's kind of like the golden calf, man. That's kind of like that kind of reminds me of the golden calf, man.
What are they doing? Idol. Worshiping the
I don't know, man.
That is nuts. So, a butter cow. That's pretty cool. But I bet you they have some nice state fairs and shit up there.
Oh yeah, man. Lots of corn.
Yeah.
Popcorn, caramel corn, corn on the cob.
I love popcorn, man. I eat it every once in a while, and I won't eat anything. I try not to eat anything but Orville Redenbacher. That's my favorite. because it pops, almost the whole bag pops. You get cheap popcorn, man, it hardly all pops, you know. It just sucks.
But at least we got one. At least we got one haunted scarecrow, you know, in these stories, which makes a lot of sense for Iowa. You know, a female scarecrow though. I don't know. I don't remember the last time. You know.
Yeah.
I remember the last time that I. Man, I don't know if I've ever seen a female scarecrow in a movie.
No, I have not. I don't think I've never seen one either. Now I know that. I don't know if I'll talk about it. I'll have to note about it, but I'm a moderator on Daniel with the Cryptid Podcast, and there's a girl that comes on there as a co-host. She's a moderator too, and Sabrina, and she was telling a story, her friend, about a scarecrow in Kentucky. And I think I'm going to save that story. And it was spooky. It was, the scarecrow was screaming, man, like a child out at night in the old cabin. Yeah, years ago. And I remember it was nuts coming through the window, but I'll have to see if I can get that article.
We better save it for Kentucky. We're almost there.
Yeah, just 2 more, but
J, we're on I, and we got J.
Yeah.
And K. And since there are, let's see here, H-I-J. There's no states to begin with J.
No.
So it's going to be, then it just moves on after Iowa. Oh, yeah. We're on K.
Kansas is next, dude.
We're moving to K. We're moving to
There's a story I'll have to remember. I don't know the name of it, but I've been to this actual spot where it happened. But I'll save the story, you know, till then. It's very interesting. But anyway, Ted, if you ain't got anything else to add.
No, I just want to say butter cow.
Butter cow. You know what that reminds me of? Butter cow. Water babies. You knew it was coming, didn't you? You knew it was coming. Butter cow can't take the place of water babies. There's no way it could take the place of water babies. If you don't know what water babies is, you need to go back and watch. I think it was in Idaho, wasn't it?
Idaho.
It was in Idaho. Yeah, water babies. Yes, very interesting.
The spooky water babies.
Spooky water babies. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching. Don't forget, thank you, Ted, again for being the co-host.
Always fun.
Yes, it is.
Always a fun, spooky time.
Yes, it is. But anyway, guys, make sure you look under the bed, look in the closet, and watch out for out-of-date butter. Until next time, peace out, everyone.